Hello guys, how's it going? I happened to have a conversation with a friend and I think I discovered how serious I am when it comes to relationships or particularly friendships. I discovered something that I journaled down and that gave me the feedback to make this video and inspiration to talk about it. It went something like this. Uh, there was a friend, basically, there still is, that I basically said to him, uh, I'm here for the difficult parts. Meaning that if you ever feel lonely, if you ever have the impression that no one understands you, you want to be listened, and basically you want to talk about something serious, something that concerns you, something that you're really interested in, and you have no person close to talk to you, to talk about that thing, I basically made it clear that yes, I'm definitely one of those people. If you're ever interested, and the thing is, I made it as soon as possible. For example, I started hanging out with that person back in 2017. Still in this today, we're still friends till today. Hooray! And I basically always had in my mind to provide to that person that kind of attention and time and effort when that person particularly needed it. And because I thought I always in my mind that that friend in particular has other friends that may as well be joyous or facious or cheerful and do stupid things and be whatever like teenage children, right? They may as well do whatever they want and have fun. And I thought of that person, that my friend is very talkative, right? And by extension, by being talkative, that person has a lot of insight, has a lot of ideas, has a lot of inspiration, and lots of, and he's eager basically to talk about other things that he is well interested in, such as architecture, such as philosophy, such as politics and history and other things that are more interesting. Basically, forget about the politics, scratch that. Um, and so I basically contributed to him in a way that basically said, okay, I'm here for the serious stuff. Keynote, keyword basically, serious. And even though that thing worked in our favor, for example, me taking the things, some of those things, some conversations basically seriously, I mean by this that we can also may as well have fun, of course. And I just made it clear that if he ever want to talk about something, I'm always by his side. And because I made it that clear, basically vice versa by his side. And so I think in my opinion that is a very basic missing element to many friendships today. Because I don't think people are getting better in relationships. I think we're getting more distant. And this is basically my opinion, but I wish I'm wrong. For whatever reason, I suspect it should be easier to make relationships and friendships work better if basically we know what the other person needs and basically contribute to that and basically be in a way an extension of the other person, regardless. It could be a friendship or a sexual relationship or even a sibling, right? And so I had in my mind to basically fill up the needs of the other person first and basically be there when the time is needed. And everything else may as well follow. For example, some time together, some fun, doing things together, and basically relax and play games and read together and philosophize and think for ourselves. But of course, there are going to be times in this life where things are going to get a little bit more serious, more a bit heavy and more tight in general. And so I'm saying this to share my insight into how I believe I can make a great friendship work, basically. I hold this to myself, try to take seriously the time that the other person actually needs to talk about themselves and about some personal things that they experience by themselves. Even something very small, such as the job they work on, is a bit exhausting or a bit annoying or whatever. Because I find it extremely rewarding that if you give attention to that person's inner world, if you basically see that, or me in particular, right, that that one person has a need to talk about something that concerns him, and realize that a person who does that is a skeptical person who basically want to talk about some things, and he doesn't have the so-called audience or people to talk about it, and it might well be a small thing, but it can have a great impact on the other person's health, mental health. And the thing is that that small missing element, I suspect, is what's gonna make the other person's life entirely different, and basically provide the other person's a way of freedom and a sense of freedom, a sense of ease. Let the other person be comfortable in their own skin. And this basically makes things easier and healthier in a relationship. Because we're basically made for relationships. We're not made to work all day. We're not meant to sitting behind our screens all day and basically sitting our asses all day in just one chair because we're said we must work. But the thing is that those things many times is necessary, because that is how today's conditions are being done, right? And you may as well send a message to an old friend that you basically spend more time with, talking about your deepest thoughts and insights. And I'm saying all this because I have the impression that that takes a little bit of bravery. In what sense? In the sense of that if a person really dares to talk about their own thoughts and feelings to a person that they deem trustworthy, well, that so-called vulnerability and that honesty may as well be a great strength to someone's relationship with somebody else's. And in a way, that kind of vulnerability is a sign of strength in the person. And there's some kind of bravery to speak about your own things, that you may as well believe that other people may as well mock you for that kind of thoughts, your own deepest thoughts. And it takes a little bit of courage, but also it takes a lot of people judgment in a way. People between us, we must be able to say as to whether or not that person is suitable for us to hang out with, because there might as well be relationships or people's situations, whatever, that we're just good by being typical and have a good day, and that's that, nothing more to it, right? And if a friendship, if a relationship works, it may as well work because people are making better relationships, stronger bonds, when they basically reveal something vulnerable to them, to a person that they find worthy of sharing with. And of course, the person that they are sharing that with is willing to accept that as a piece of sacred gold that basically, with the smallest of touch and movements, is going to shatter. But you are so aware of that information, that valuable information, that vulnerable thing, that you are responsible and you want to be, if not a great person towards them, you can just at least accept the idea that someone decided to trust you. And if that happens, well, you convince someone that they can speak to you. And I think that if you are uncomfortable with a person speaking to you, you may as well always say, well, I respect your thoughts, but I don't think I'm your person suitable for that. And might as well be a little bit uncomfortable, but I think that's the best thing you can do, probably, in that situation. Anyways, I'm saying this because another reason, basically, why I'm saying this is that great so-called wealth is basically living a life that is worth living. And that is with guidance, with many other people around you, even though some of those people, you have a lot of time to speak. For example, I believe that I have friendships, for example, I believe that even though some months or even years may as well pass away, if I come in contact with them, nothing will have changed. We're gonna be good again, that's what I believe anyways. And I think it's better to be a bit more brave and basically have our insights, our thoughts, and dare talking to more people. But I'll tell you this, I am extremely lucky to have these people as my friends. And there's a big luck contributing to that because they are the people they are, right? And they are amazing people, at least for me. And I'm saying this to, well, pass on the idea that there can be amazing people out there that are almost perfectly suitable for you. And if you haven't found those people, well, be patient and work on your skill that basically suggests that you are interested into them and you would love to hang out around them. And that is one idea I had today for a video. And I hope you like it. I hope you like the idea. You might as well tell me what you think in the comments if you want. And I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.